Hello everyone, my name is Stefan and welcome to Lush and Salty Aquariums. Gonna give an update on my 12-gallon long bookshelf aquarium from Lifeguard Aquatics, which obviously we are looking at now. I've had a few ups and downs with this tank, but mostly it's been a wonderful journey, about 8 months and ticking. Let's go over what's happening inside this tank. First off, you can see right through it now. I took off the black background. I found it was creating, a black hole underneath this hardscape that I've got above the tank with emerging plants and moss and the root structures. That obscures the light already, and then with a black background and a dark substrate, it was just a black hole back there. For a while, I'm sure the fish appreciated it, especially when I was keeping a pair of these peacock gudgeons as well, and moreover, these sparkling gouramis, which love to huddle, and even for a brief moment were spawning back there, creating their nests up and in this fabulous undercarriage of roots and whatnot. But those fish surprisingly did not thrive in this aquarium. I'm not sure why, but I no longer keep them, and I have one male of the peacock gudgeons, but and he's great, and I feed him bloodworms sort of individually, because none of the other fish in this tank, save for maybe the pygmy coreodoras, have big enough mouths to even deal with something like a bloodworm. And so the heroes now are these super fabulous neon blue rasboras. I forget their Latin name. They come in a red and a green and a blue sort of variety depending on collection point. And this is the neon blue variety. There's about 12 in here, as well as a wonderful group of chili rasboras. You can see from their iconic shape and color. These two fish get along swimmingly together. And I also have a group of these pencil fish. They're not the Bexford red pencil fish. What are they called? God, the name escapes me. Forgive me for doing a video without having simple knowledge like that, but they're a relatively inexpensive and common variety. I think far more attractive than the Bexford pencilfish, the red pencilfish, which is really more bronze than red. But this one has keen stripes, a red dorsal fin. I've got about 4 or 5 in here. And if the name comes to me, there's another one. It's interesting with these. If the name comes to me, I'll mention it. But some of them are very sprightly, like this guy, and others just sort of hoover like pencils sitting on a desk, which is part of how they get their name. They have that long, narrow body type, and they're still. They can be quite still. So those are the 3 nanofish I have in this aquarium. And as you can see, the plants are doing really, really well. I've got some water sprite, using it as a top water sort of floater here. And then the roots from that plant, as well as the emergent plants back there, pothos, and even this hygrophila, which was an aquatic plant that over time grew out of the water, and I've been keeping some of it like that. All those roots commingle and get tangled up to form this great undercarriage that I think just looks terrific. And if I was breeding, it would be outstanding for those purposes, but I'm sure it adds an element of security for these little fish. But now that they've become accustomed to the one quasi-predator, the peacock gudgeon, and really no other threats in this tank, they're not afraid of anything. And the ground plants are varied. There's a cryptocorn flamingo, sort of an exotic, and it's doing pretty well. Here's some dwarf hairgrass. There's some Christmas moss, sort of forming stairs and steps and layers within the beginnings of the hardscape that goes up to a larger piece of spider wood that emerges from the water. And then I use lava rock, a black, actually it's sort of a multicolored lava rock, but its primary color is a black brown, which is kind of cool. Lava rock's wonderful because it holds so much beneficial bacteria. It's also much lighter in weight, so when you're buying it at the fish store and you pay by the pound, it's a hell of a lot cheaper than petrified wood or zero stone, let me tell you that. So here's some cryptocorn with a, I think this could be the red Wendetti. Maybe not, it's pretty dark. And then I've got some Java fern and some Anubias comprising sort of this main section, if you will. Stem plants, those are stems of simple Rotala indica, and I keep on chopping off the top, and then the very tips grow back very, very quickly, and in a shallow tank, they hit the top within a week or so. The cool thing is toward the light, they get that wonderful red color. Hygrophila pinnifada right there, some Japanese clover in there, and honestly, on and on. And I haven't even really touched on what's up going on the top. Duckweed, frogbit, and water sprite, probably a couple other floating plants, maybe a few red root floaters. I use twigs and sticks to create these fun beaver dams, and over time the Christmas moss, as it got more and more adjusted to being out of water, forms a dense, thick carpet that really becomes one with the wood. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to separate the two at this point, and why would you? So cool. I really believe in mixing your hardscape and your plants in and out of the aquarium. You can see what I've done on the outside, some black lava rock, sort of framing the tank. A few of my fun pieces of vintage aquarium. That's a bubbler from the 60s. Pretty cool, huh? Ceramic or porcelain fish. There's an old, really even older from the 50s, almost like a cast iron. Obviously it's not iron, but a heavy, very heavy old sunken chest with a diver. And at the time, the bubbles would come out of the open chest there through a tube in his head. That's an air plant, by the way, pretty nifty. I sort of just set it on top, so it looks kind of like an octopus coming out of the chest there. Couple $5 plants from Home Depot, just sitting in their little flower pots. I throw some tank water in every week and spritz them. And driftwood, right? And then in the back, after I took off the black background, I just placed some of my assorted extra pieces of driftwood and hardscape, so that when you look through, not that this wallpaper isn't awesome, because it is, with those fun fish on it, but just to add depth, like you're not sure where the tank ends, right? It's a really narrow tank, but when you do this little trick, as opposed to just a flat painted background or mylar or whatever you're using, you can create a sense of depth as well. And I love having the light now. I was big on putting backgrounds on because all the top aquascapers were doing it. But for my purposes, it kind of is a pain in the ass. I don't know. I'm just not going to go there anymore, I don't think. Here's some more of the same, right? Another air plant and fun old ceramic, some black lava rock. There's a cutting of pothos, and you can see just like that's literally just resting on the top there, very OG. No sort of incorporation into the aquascape, just sort of putting it there. But as you move back, it all becomes a panorama, and everything that I love about this hobby is captured in this one tank. Wonderful, healthy nanofish, and lots of them, tons of plants, and emergent growth. all keys for my enjoyment in this hobby, and I'm thinking you as well. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to hit me up. I'll answer, I promise. And as always, keep your hands in the tank. Ciao for now.